What's that?
The cherry blossom. What's that? The blossoms. The Nembutsu song.
It should be the next slide.
The next slide.
Full screen.
Okay. Got it. Can't hear though.
Okay, Sharon. You open the presentation itself. Okay, remember your remote controlling the computer. You need this one. No, you're in. If you open the presentation, it only shows how.
I'm gonna get fired. Fired? I'm gonna be fired.
I consider it an easier way for them to spend money. We need to replace them with computers anyway. Helps to keep the light.
I know. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm Sharon. I'll be your MC this morning. Just to inform you, the service starts at this being broadcast Zoom, so the noise picks up in this temple. So just want to forewarn. Okay, and today is Happy Mother's Day. Makawao, everybody, Happy Mother's Day. And next month is Happy Father's Day. If you're able, please rise and we'll begin the service by singing Vandana Tisarana together in both Pali and English. Thank you very much. Please be seated. We'll now sing the Gatha, Gasha with the meter, which will be shown on the screens. This will be followed by quiet meditation.
Then I feel great compassion. I gasho with Abhika, Nembutsu in work and play, every day with Amida, every moment filled with light. I gasho with Amida, remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I gasho with Amida, in the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night. I gasho with Amida, Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I gasho with Amida.
Let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get
comfortable. If you are able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Now sit up straight and align your head, neck, shoulders, and back. A straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, you'll feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, any stress or worries in your mind just fade away. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
Yes.
Welcome to Makawao. Would you like to share your names, your friends, this morning? Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Kana. We came from Seattle.
Seattle?
We're just visiting.
Thank you.
Where's Nana, Tintin, Ma, Anka, Leo, Kid.
Okay. Well, welcome to Makawao Mother's Day service. Welcome. Hey, if you have any questions or concerns, we're here to address them.
Thank you so much for accepting us.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. Yeah.
All right. We did the meditation. All right. We encourage everyone both here in person and at home joining us by live stream to offer incense as an expression of gratitude. Mahalo. Oh, sorry.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Mahalo. Thank you. Let us all recite the golden chain of love together. Let us begin. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure beautiful thoughts, to say pure beautiful words, and to do pure beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amitabha. Okay, and now it's children's drama story time.
is. Live, whoops. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Nothing's happening, huh? How strange. Okay. Live from Makawao, it's Children's Dharma Story Time, starring Barkley the dog and Lucy the ladybug with special guests, Green Snoopy and Kermit the Gosho Frog. Mayha, aloha, kakahiako, how gozaimasu, good morning. It's me, Barkley the dog, with Lucy the ladybug, the love of my life. How y'all doing this fine Sunday morning? I see Lynn and Gawa here today. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. That's right, because we have a wonderful story for you today. And the story is Love is a Family, written by Roma Downey and illustrated by Justine Gasquet. Love is a Family, written by Roma Downey, illustrations by Justine Gasquet. Oops. I want a real family, said Lily, slamming the screen door shut behind her. And what would that be? Her mama asked. More than just you and me. Tonight is family fun night, and I'll bet I'll be the only kid in the whole class to bring just one person. What kind of family is that? A small kind, teased Mama, but it's still a real family. Lily didn't want to have a snack with Mama like she did most days after school. The house was too quiet and too neat. I'm going next door, she said. Melissa's house was never quiet and never, ever neat. Melissa had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. She shared a room with her sisters, and every night they had a pillow fight before they went to sleep. When I go to sleep, thought Lily, all I get is the next chapter in the book Mama and I are reading together. Lily played with Melissa in her noisy, messy house until Mama called her home to get ready for family fun night. Mama asked, do you want to call Uncle Mike and Aunt Lizzie to see if they'll meet us there? Uncles and aunts don't count, Lily told her. Sometimes I wish I had sisters or a dad who lived with me, or at least a brother or something. I know, said Mama. Sometimes I wish that too. But most of the time, our little family feels just right to me. Love is what makes a family, and we've got plenty of that. Lily knew it was true. Even so, her lonely feeling wouldn't go away. She kept worrying about how they'd be the weird family at the family fun night. But, as it turned out, they weren't. When they got there, they saw plenty of families that didn't look like Melissa's. Lily talked to a girl who was there with just her dad. She came back and whispered to Mama, Remy's mother died, and she has no brothers or sisters, so it's just the 2 of them. That's how I grew up too, said Mama. Lily had forgotten about that. It felt weird to think about her mom as a little girl. But how could Dad brush your hair and make it pretty? Did he know how to braid? Or get the barrettes even on both sides? Grandpa learned to do these things because he was my daddy, and he loved me, Mama said. He also baked peanut butter cookies and planned fantastic birthday parties. He sang jokes and told he sang songs and told awful jokes when I needed cheering up. There are as many ways for families to show love as there are different kinds of families. Lily pointed to a girl in her class. Like Tamika, her mother and her mom and dad showed love by adopting her and getting her a puppy, and freezing that big wad of gum out of her hair with ice cubes instead of making her cut it. Mama laughed. How about Josh and Tony across the street? They don't have parents now, but they have grandparents who pop popcorn for scary movies, rescue balls from the roof, and pull splinters out of dirty fingers and catch lightning bugs. I call that a family. At Family Fun Night, they saw families with stepdads and stepmoms and half-sisters and half-brothers. There were single moms and single dads, and families made up of different colors of skin. Everyone was laughing and showing their love by being together. But later, walking home in the cool night air, it was just Lily and Mama again, alone under the million sparkling stars. Lily pointed. See that big bunch of stars over there? That's how big Melissa's family is. That's a nice bunch of stars, said Mama. Yeah, but look at those two pretty stars twinkling together over there, Lily said, smiling. They're like us. They're shining just as brightly. Mama, someday you'll be old and I'll be grown up, said Lily. And do you know who will brush your hair then? It will be me. And I'll braid your hair for you and I'll make sure the barrettes are even on both sides. Because you and I will always be a family. And we'll always have love. Mama squeezed Lily's hand. And those two stars shined like the brightest diamonds. The end. Yay! And that was the story, Love is a Family, by Roma Downey and illustrated by Justine Gasquet. Hey, Louie, wasn't that a great man? Okay. Hey, Sensei, you better loosen up your lips there. Hey, wasn't that a great story? Hey, what part did you like? Lena, what part did you like?
I like the part whenever the stars are shining very bright.
Ah, the two stars shining brightly in the sky. That was a good one. How about you, Kava? Did you like anything in the story?
I like the part that the mom and the kid was next to each other.
You liked the part where the mom and the kid were next to each other. Wasn't that sweet? Yeah. Well, hey, Barkley, what part did you like? Well, I liked the part where every family was different. There is no regular family. What does regular mean? I don't know. And if you have love, you have a family. Well, that's right. It's just like us. We're all one big Ohana. There's a rascal dog who's in love with a ladybug, and a sensei who's actually a crazy grandpa, and a rascal Nardu. Well, that's right, Barkley. The Buddha taught that we're one big Ohana, one big family, and that all life is one. You mean the world doesn't revolve around me, Barkley the dog, the rascal dog, the star, the children's Dharma story time? Well, gotcha, Sensei. I know the world doesn't revolve around me. I just like to think so. Actually, my world revolves around Lucy the ladybug, the love of my life. We're as different as we can be, but we have love. So we're a family, Ohana, just the way we are. Oh, Barkley, you're such a romantic rascal. Gotcha. Well, you got that right, baby. Hey, say, what do you say we mosey over to the social hall and check out the refreshments? It's Mother's Day, so what do you say we eat all the special stuff? Hey, Glenna, you want to come with us? We're going to eat all food. Let's go. Okay, yeah. Actually, just kidding. Auntie Diane would whack me something good with a slipper across my head if I did something like that. I'm not that dumb. Well, you had me at refreshments. We know. Fade to black. Hey, Sensei, you forgot something. Oops. Hey, Sensei, you forgot something. Oh, that's right. Remember, kids, be good. But not too much. Okay, very good. So now, kids, it's the boring part. It's the Dharma talk for the adults. So you can go to sleep. It's okay. Or you can actually maybe go back to the control booth and play with the cameras with me. No. So anyway, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. Actually, if my mom's watching, hi Mom, Happy Mother's Day. So this is a picture when we, obviously when we were kids and as adults. So this is the wedding of my niece, so one of her granddaughters. I'd like to begin with this poem, The Baton of Life by Mitsuo Aida. My father and mother, all together 2. The parents of my father and mother, all together 4. Parents of parents, all together 8. If I count in this way, back to 10 generations, all together 1,024. What about back to 20 generations? To my surprise, over 1 million people. From the infinite past, a life rally baton has been passed on. Here now, I live with my baton, and then I will pass it to the next. This is your life. The person takes the baton and says, this is my life. And that's a poem by Mitsuo Aida, who's known as a Japanese poet and calligrapher known as the poet of Zen. Now, if we were Zen practitioners, I would simply say, sit on that for 45 minutes and we'd be done. But we're Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, so you have to sit and listen to me talk. But the key insight in this poem, think about it. If you go back 20 generations, right, there's more than 1 million fathers and mothers involved before it comes to me, to you. So, logically, there's over 500,000 mothers before you get to me. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So you think about it, right? You got your mom and dad. They have moms and dads. Your grandma and grandpas on both sides. You got 4, right? Let's see. There's grandma. There's grandpa too. Yay! Right? And then they have mothers and fathers. So just keep going back. Oh, wait, 1 million people. Isn't that amazing? So 500,000 mothers just to get to me. Happy Mother's Day indeed. So this morning, let's talk a little bit about Buddhism and moms. Now, in the Honganji story of the Buddha's birth, we don't talk about this following part of the story, which does appear in the more traditional retellings of the story. Did you know that Queen Maya dies 7 days after giving birth to Prince Siddhartha? And thus, Siddhartha grows up without the mother who gave birth to him. So Siddhartha is raised by his mother's sister, his auntie, Prajapati. And as crown prince, of course, Siddhartha had many servants to serve his every need from when he was a baby. But it could be argued that Siddhartha grows up never knowing a mother's love. A little bit of Buddhist trivia for you. 3 decades later, Auntie Prajapati plays a central role. She persuaded the Buddha to allow women onto the path of awakening. So it's said that she had to go 3 times, make 3 pilgrimages over vast distances. It's not easy back in the day, 2,500 years ago. To travel 50 miles, 100 miles was a huge undertaking. She had to do it 3 times to convince Siddhartha, who she raised, to allow women the opportunity for enlightenment. Because of Prajapati, Buddhism becomes the first major religion that allows women on the path of enlightenment. Because at the time, women or females were thought to be defiled and impure, and thus not capable of realizing enlightenment. So happy Mother's Day to Auntie Prajapati, thank you very much. It should be noted that the Buddha is said to have hesitated before sharing his insights and truths to anyone, because the Dharma teachings are so subtle and profound. Legend says that Brahma, the god of Brahmanism, the dominant religion and social order at the time of Siddhartha, convinced the Buddha to share the Dharma teachings. How about Shinran's mom? Well, I mean, we don't know very much about Shinran's mother, although it's said that she was of noble birth because she was married to Lord Harinori, who was a high-ranking government official. Now, the story, you know this story, that it's said that Shinran enters the monastery at Mount Tie and becomes a monk at age 9 as an orphan. So the Honganji version of the story says he was an orphan, that's why his uncle takes him to the temple to become a monk. But there exists historical evidence that his father and brothers were monks too. So thus it's possible that Shinran's mother became a nun, but there's no historical evidence of that. How about Eshin, Shinran's wife and the mother of his children? Eshin, we know, was of noble birth. She was highly educated and is recognized as the first woman to openly marry and have children with a priest, who in theory is a monk, following monastic practice precepts, including celibacy. But we know also historically that major temples have hereditary lines of succession. That is to say, the sons took over from the fathers. Even during Shinran's time, he just didn't talk about it. But again, in theory, all of the priests are monks. They're celibate. How does that happen? My son's taking over the temple. Whatever. We just don't talk about it. So it should be noted that when Eshin and Shinran got married, Shinran had been exiled, had been given a criminal name, and had his license to be a priest revoked. I mean, he was no longer licensed as a priest. For a woman of her social class, right, the marriage would have been scandalous. Thus, Eshin was brave enough and strong enough to marry Shinran and have children with him. So much of what we know about Shinran's life is through the letters that Eshin wrote, which prove that Shinran was not a myth or a legend created over the centuries, but a real person. So before 1921, when the letters of Eshin were discovered and authenticated, the most popular academic theory said Shinran was a legend, a myth, created and embellished over the centuries. But he didn't actually exist. Shinran didn't exist. The founder of the tradition didn't exist. But thanks to Eshin's letters, we know that he was real. So her letters provide the documentary evidence that Shinran was a real person, destroys the theory that Shinran was simply a fabrication created by succeeding generations of Monshu, the chief priests. So the writing style and the vocabulary used in Eshin's letter show her to be a highly educated woman because she's literate. And also, it reveals her to be a very passionate follower of the Nembutsu. The letters show that Shinran respected Shinran greatly, such that she revered him as a manifestation of the Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, or Seishi Bodhisattva. So it could be argued that Eshin and Shinran failed as parents because their eldest son, Zenran, claimed that he had received special teachings, the true essence of the Jodo Pure Land Way. And this created such a disturbance that the government had to step in. I mean, the government stepping into religious stuff is a really major big deal. And ultimately, Shinran disowns his eldest son. He says, my eldest son, you're no longer my son. You're spreading heresy. You're teaching the incorrect teachings. So in the later years of Shinran's life, Eshin returns to Echigo to manage her family's estate and the domain, while the youngest daughter, Kakushin, cares for Shinran. So last month we had Kakushin and Eshin Inde, and this is why we do this. So this line in this writing by Shinran, it's always very surprising on the first read. Quote, as for me, Shinran, I have never said the Nembutsu for the repose, I'm sorry, it should be even once for the repose of my departed father and mother. Shinran's never said Namo Amida Butsu for for the repose of his mother and father. It goes on. Shinran emphasizes this insight: for all sentient beings, without exception, have been our parents and brothers and sisters in the course of countless lives in many states of existence. So remember the poem, right? The farther you go back, there's more and more and more and more parents. So Shinran says, for sentient beings like human beings, right? Everyone, at one point, going back far enough, has been our parents, has been our brothers and sisters. So the oneness of all life. And then Shinran goes on to explain the true essence, the Shinshu of the Jodo Pure Land Way. So we're saying the Nembutsu, saying Namo Amida Butsu, was indeed a good act in which I strove through my own powers that I might direct the merit thus gained towards saving my father and mother. But this is not the case. This is not the case. So saying the Nembutsu is not something that we do under our own power. It's not a practice. So we cannot gain merit for saving. It could be used, merit could be transferred to mother and father to save them. Oops, sorry, didn't do this one. It goes on to say, if, however, simply abandoning self-power, we quickly attain enlightenment in the Pure Land, we will be able to save, by means of transcendent powers, first those who we have close karmic relations, whatever karmic suffering they may have sunk to in the six realms through the 4 modes of birth. If you're really interested, I can explain the 6 modes, the 6 realms and the 4 modes of birth, but it's pretty technical stuff. So basically, giving up self-power practice, the belief that I say Namo Amida Butsu, thus I gain merit, thus I'll be born into the Pure Land. In the Jodo Shinshu tradition, we rely solely, wholeheartedly, without a doubt, on Amida's great compassionate vow to save all sentient beings. So we're born into the Pure Land when we die, we become Buddha, we return in oneness with Amida to this world to guide others to birth in the Pure Land. So this state of relying solely, wholeheartedly, free of doubt on Amida for the great enlightenment to come, this is called Shinjin, the heart of entrusting. And Shinran teaches that Shinjin, it is Shinjin that is the true cause of birth into the Pure Land. So Shinjin is less of an intellectual understanding of Amida's working in this unrepeatable life, but it is emotional, subjective transformation. It's a return to the heart of compassion, as in this hymn written by Shinran. There's Shinran. When sentient beings think on Amida, just as a child thinks of its mother, they indeed see the Tathagata, who is never distant, both in the present and in the future. Namo Amida. So let's break this hymn down into more easily understood words. So sentient beings, you'll hear this a lot, essentially self-aware, so aware of their quote-unquote self. Human beings, animals, living organisms, they all have self-awareness. In the Mahayana stream of Buddhism, it's believed that Buddha nature, the potential to become a Buddha, exists and is inherent in all forms of life. So think on Amida can be directly translated as the Nembutsu, to think on Amida, Namo Amida Butsu. So when you Namo Amida Butsu, when you Nembutsu, when you think on Amida, just like a child thinks of its mother, right? You see the Tathagata, you see Amida in the present, in the future. And you see that Amida is never distant, it's never apart from you, it's always there. When you say Namo Amida Butsu just like a child thinks of its mother, you see that Amida Buddha, is in everything, everywhere, all at once. Amida is with you, never distant, in the present and in the future, Namo Amida. It is through birth into the Pure Land that we become free of the human ego, free of the limitations of this human body. And we become one with Amida. And we return to this world, and we are empowered to save everyone, everywhere, at any time. And thus, Amida is called the Buddha of immeasurable life. No matter how long it takes, the heart of great compassion is with you. And Amida is the Buddha of immeasurable light. There is nowhere the unhindered light of wisdom does not shine. So how do we let go of this egocentric sense of self that we so desperately cling to, even though we know it causes stress in our lives? How do we get the ego self out of the way and open the eyes of wisdom? How do we return to the heart of a child? Just like a child thinks of its mother. Just like a child thinks of its 500,000 mothers, the 500,000 mothers who came before in the past 20 generations. When we truly see the infinite interconnectedness of life, when we experience Amida as great love and great compassion everywhere, in everything, all at once, past, present, future, we experience a sense of connectedness, oneness, a conviction that we're not alone. And we are never alone. Amida is always with us. Our 500,000, or 1 million fathers and mothers are always with us as part of Amida Buddha. So Namo Amida Butsu is always there, has always been there, is always calling out to everyone, everywhere, equally, with the mind of absolute non-discrimination. The words of Shinran. When a person realizes the mind of non-discrimination, that attainment is the state of regarding each being as one's only child. This is none other than Buddha nature, and we will awaken to it on reaching the land of peace. Shinran Shonin in the Hymns of the Pure Land, Wasan number 92. So the state of regarding each being as one's only child. Right? Remember that. But you have to remember, because we're human, we're only human. This is not something we can achieve through self-powered practices. Shinran is not telling us to strive to attain the state of regarding each being as one's only child. This wasan is often used as advice to people. Oh, you should think of everybody as your only child. We want, as human beings, we want to tell people what to do. But that's not what Shinran's teaching. That's not what Shinran's teaching. The state of regarding each being as one's only child, this is Amida Buddha. This is Amida, how when he looks at us as human beings, Amida is saying, okay, you're my only child. I have to take care of you, no matter how long it takes, no matter where you go, no matter where you are, I have to save you. And so Namo Amida Butsu is for me, because I am karma's fool. I'm standing here preaching to others when I should be preaching to myself. So I've studied hard, I've passed tests, I've received pieces of paper as an ordained priest of the Honkanji, as an appointed overseas missionary, as a minister assigned to the Hawaii mission, and as the resident minister of Makawao Honkanji. And yet, I still get angry. I still have a big ego. I still hold grudges. I criticize others while ignoring my own faults. I am utterly and completely human. I know this, and yet I cannot change. How silly, or as Shinran would say, how lamentable. And yet, this self-awareness of my ego, this self-awareness of my limitations, this self-awareness of my weaknesses, comes to me because of Amida working in my life. So my mother is the youngest of 7 brothers and sisters, and Grandma Nakawatase was known as a fiercely passionate follower of the Nimbus. In fact, she was known as a lay preacher. I mean, she would go up to the bishop and say, "Can you say Namo Amida Butsu? Does Namo Amida Butsu just come out of your mouth?" With the implication, no, it doesn't. My father was the 3rd son of a classically nice bachan, the sweet grandma who's always smiling and always laughing, always cooking something to eat, always giving the grandkids sweets. I've always wanted to be like Bachan, but I ended up being a Buddhist preacher, just like Grandma Nakawatase, who actually scared me when I was a kid, because she would just get you with this stare like, and I go, okay, I'll be good, sorry. And her house always smelled like mothballs and incense, which was kind of weird even as a kid. I know very little about the mothers of my grandmothers, because my grandmothers, of course, immigrated to the mainland, to the US. And before that, we really don't know very much about my great-grandmothers. And yet I stand here today because literally countless mothers gave birth and raised kids who went on to be mothers of mothers of mothers of mothers of mothers. So that insight, that knowledge, that understanding of reality as it is, it forces me to realize the truth the Dharma, that what I think and say and do today has karmic consequences far beyond what I can imagine. So today, on Mother's Day, think on Mom. Think about your mom. Think on Amida. If your mother is still with you, go visit your mom. Call your mom. Hi, Mom. I'll give you a call after the service, okay? If your mother has been born into the Pure Land, say Namo Amida Butsu. Enjoy. Think Namo Amida Butsu in gratitude. And be Namo Amida Butsu in other people's lives. Happy Mother's Day. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Okay, over to you.
Thank you, Reverend Kerr, for your Dharma message. Let us all chant the Metta Sutta, the Loving Kindness Sutra. Okay. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Please rise if you're able, and we'll sing Ondokutsan, the hymn of gratitude written by Shinran Shonin, which will be found on the screens.
Oh
attainment is the state of regarding each being as one's only child. This is none other than Buddha nature. We will awaken to it on reaching the land of peace. Namo Amidase. The wisdom of Shinran Shoni, the hymns of the Pure Land. This is verse 97. Namo Amidase.
Please be seated. Reverend Carol will now lead us in the gratitude meditation.
So once again, let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. Sit up straight. Align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes halfway, so you're looking both outwardly and inwardly. And just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, think of something for which you are grateful. And as you breathe out, just say mahalo. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
Thank you very much for joining our Dharma family service today, and happy Mother's Day again. May your day be filled with aloha. And we have announcements. Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Happy Mother's Day, and to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. Unfortunately, I'm not a mother of any human, but I was a mother to 3 dogs. Okay, and as a youngster, we had many, many cats. Okay, I just have one announcement to say, and we really appreciate everyone in this room because you folks always pull through for us. For the temple. And so the day is coming, June 22nd and 23rd. But before we get to the garage sale, there's little tiny steps we have to do between. So the first big day will be Saturday, June 8th, when we hope everyone can come out and help us take the things out, what the Scouts and the Girl Scouts, well, Scout 180, and Cub Scouts and the judo parents will come out and help us take things out from the containers and under the house, and then we start to place them on the tables. So that would be our first day, and that's a very hard day because people have to carry things and everything else. We have Carol Yamamura, who has volunteered to do our lunches for the big days. So Carol and her team of people will do for Saturday, June 8th, and if you know her cooking, you want to be here. And then on the last 2 days, the garage sale day, September 22nd and 23rd. So please come out, and I will also have this posted. Where should I put it? In the office. If you would like to volunteer to be in charge of a lunch day, you know. And I put there, we have lunch about 11:30, so if you have everything set up for us, you know. And it's hard for us to determine how many people will be there, so, you know, you can do like sandwiches or hot dog and buns with, you know, some kind of vegetable or something like that. We would really appreciate it. And the last thing is, I have our schedule for the whole month. So when you have some free days and you're able to, you're sitting home, you know, nothing else to do, you know, you're getting bored, you want to talk to people, you want to be among us, please come out and then, you know, look at your schedule. You're welcome to come every day. Every day we're out here, because there be people like us who will be here every day. So look at your schedule and come out and help us if you can. You're going to have fun. It is fun. It's the socializing that makes it fun. Okay? It's just like having refreshments up in the social hall. Yes, Jean?
Are you going to take the refreshment schedule up to the social office?
Oh, shall I do that, and then we can take it down there? That's a good idea. Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you. We'll see you up there then.
Okay, so next Sunday, May 19th, is Fuji Matsuri. It's the annual gathering of all the Honganji temples in Maui to mark Shinran Shonin's birthday, which is May 17, 1173. There'll be a test on that, so memorize that date. May 26th will be a lay-led Dharma family service as Reverend Carey, so I will be in Honolulu. I'm the minister counselor for the S Camp, which is coming back for the first time in about 3 years in person or something like that. And then June 2nd is the baccalaureate service, where we recognize our graduates for this year. And our guest speaker will be Emi Hashi, who many of you know. She is the youth specialist for Honganji in Hawaii. Columbarium is always open. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining our service today. Sorry, I thought I had one more slide in there. Is any other announcement? Nope. Okay, sorry. I thought there was supposed to be one more weight slide in there. So we're going to put these back. Yeah, so we have two Vietnamese families, so if you want to keep
This is the $5 one?
Sorry?